The current survey results span the 2-year period from 2018 and takes in many major changes to the Falklands business climate.
These changes have included the second air link, record highs for the prices of greasy wool, followed by the wool market slump, improvements to the local broadband packages, the impact of Brexit and, of course, the coronavirus pandemic.
A survey that gives us the qualitative aspects, which is the facts and the figures, is very, very important. This is information that we use every day in FIDC. But also the qualitative aspect, which tells us what people think and what they feel. At this time, particularly as we've had the COVID-19 crisis ongoing, and we've got the slump in the world wool price and the crash in oil prices, has made it an exceptionally difficult year. So doing the survey at this point is giving us crucial information looking to the future.
The survey is available online and makes for interesting reading, but perhaps the most important question of the whole survey is the one relating to barriers that prevent business growth.
What we found over the last few years is that flights connectivity has been an issue that's permanently at the top of the business climate survey as a barrier to growth. What we found with the establishment in the last year of the second flight up to Sao Paulo in Brazil, is that we're finally able to overcome that barrier and chip away at it with diligent work. What we found now is that coming to the top of the pile in the barriers to business growth is labour market issues, and that gives us the focus for our work in the coming years.
Of the top 5 barriers that prevent business growth here in the Falklands, according to the survey, the lack of skilled labour is at the top, and it's been consistently in the top 5 since 2012.
So shortage of skilled labour was number 1 this year in the business climate survey. It's a recurring problem and it's something that needs to be addressed. So you can address it through different ways. You could upskill your local labour force and get them training, but it's also about bringing skilled labour into the islands, and recruitment comes with its own problems. And then when we get people in the islands, it's about retaining them and encouraging them to stay. So that's a big piece of work that FIDC is going to be looking at over the next few years and will form a focus as part of our business plan.
FIG has been working with the Skills Assessment Council and the Labour Force Development Specialist to try and address this issue of the lack of skilled labour. But that's not the only employment issue that businesses are facing.
3 of the barriers to growth placed in joint 6th position: lack of housing, immigration regulations and system, and also the shortage of unskilled labour.
Here in the Falklands, we enjoy an almost full employment. In the 2016 census, the unemployment level was only at 1%, but this brings its own problems. The high level of employment means that businesses have to rely on recruiting from overseas, and that means navigating the immigration system, the laborious medical forms, and then, of course, the lengthy hunt for adequate housing.
So once you address the issues of the pipeline and getting people into the Falkland Islands, it's then you face new issues like where are you going to house them? And that's something that FIDC again are working with the private sector to try and develop some ideas and develop some projects around affordable but high quality housing. And then the next step is, once people are here, it's encouraging them to continue to upskill. So be them coming in as unskilled labour or skilled labour, you want people to continue to develop professionally. And that's something that FIDC has been trying to address through its training programmes, which have been oversubscribed so far, which is a really good thing to see.
All in all, the survey is fairly positive about the business climate here in the Falklands. Some things, like the changes to the internet, for instance, is a move in the right direction, whilst other things, such as the current pandemic, are still ongoing and their eventual impact is unknown.
We've got a lot of businesses saying that 2020 and beyond, 2021, 22, and over the next 5 to 10 years, the Falkland Islands economy will recover from this. And I think that's a bit about how resilient our community and our businesses actually are in the Falkland Islands compared to other countries in the world where they might see these impacts lasting a lot longer. Interestingly, this year was, despite COVID-19 and people being in lockdown, we had a record number of responses. So we had 121 responses, the highest number we've ever had. So I was really pleased about that. And actually, we also had a high number of responses from rural businesses, with 30% of 30% of respondents to the survey being rural businesses.